to pray. There's no angels where I go, only pieces that are broken, scattered dreams across the floor. I'm home.
Alrighty, hello everybody, this is Kirisho here. Now, I do believe that I have my audio situation fixed. So I'm going to be trying to record part 3 now. So let us pick up where we last left off. Deku, he has just learned that... Oh yeah, no, one more thing. Apparently, people thought I was going to have Deku stay quirkless. Sadly, that was not the situation. If I keep Deku quirkless, then it would kind of... Brief explanation. I want to do a what if Deku was quirkless one day, and I feel like if I keep him quirkless here, that would make those two series way too similar, so it would ruin the experience of enjoying those two, or that one, when I do it. And, well, that would be no fun. So, that is the reason why I'm giving Deku one for all. Now, with that being said, Midoriya has just sparred with Ojiro, and was actually able to beat him. Along with, surprise surprise, meeting with someone who wasn't supposed to be here, or is new to the dojo. A Kendo was her name. Now, with that being said, Deku and Kendo have met, and they did at least talk a bit and spar a little bit, to at least see where she does stand. Now, Midoriya, he did head to the beach the next day, and actually met with All Might. As soon as he did, All Might was a bit more surprised to see that the kids here bright and early. Midoriya arriving about 10 minutes before he should have. And All Might telling him that he is, well, here very, very soon. So, for your little training, I believe that you should clean up the beach in order to properly help yourself build enough muscle. Midoriya a bit confused, asking All Might that exactly what does he mean? He's pretty muscular as it is for someone my size. I'm about average, or a little above that actually. All Might just explaining that the reason why he wants him to at least try training more and training a bit harder is because if you don't, then one for all would possibly kill you. Midoriya a bit confused. All Might explaining something. If he's not physically strong enough, your arms and legs or all your limbs will go bursting off of your body, along with your actual skull. So, that is the reason why. Deku a bit taken aback by that. So, wait, what does that mean about the cork then? Is it just that powerful? Well, yes, actually. In fact, I believe that you will be the 10th user. Now, with that being said, Midoriya would have talked with All Might and tried to explain to him exactly what he does for training. Usually he goes for a run in the morning before school. After school he heads to the dojo, works out, and trains a bit more, and then he runs home. Now, All Might still would have told Midoriya that it would still be a good idea to clean the beach, since he did have to talk with people and get it approved. So, young man, I'm sorry to say that you will still be doing that, before I do give you the quirk. Now, Midoriya would have understood, and he would actually begin to clean it. Cleaning it up a bit, then heading off to school. Heading back home, and then actually telling his dojo and informing them that he will not be training there today. In fact, he will just be doing some training at home. Which would kind of disappoint and, well, be a bit odd to some of the teachers. Midoriya is there every single day, so this already seems like a red flag. Now, he would just begin to train as much as possible. Picking up trash in the morning, running home, showering, changing, heading to school, and then coming back to the beach. Midoriya had the time after school, so he'd spend about, I want to say 8 to 9 hours a day cleaning. Okay, yeah, I just checked the recording, and so far, so good. But anyways, I noticed that I messed up. Midoriya will be the 9th user, not the 10th. Now, All Might would have told Midoriya that he needs to, well, slow down first off, since he does notice a little bit of a change in the beach already. Telling Midoriya that if he's going to be training like this every day, then he will have the place cleaned up in no time. Midoriya actually pushing himself to his physical limits, doing this, and All Might telling him that he needs to slow down. After the first month, Midoriya would have gotten a significant portion cleaned, as All Might would notice this. He does also notice that Midoriya does go for runs across the beach and do other physical workouts. Along with that, Midoriya did have to explain to All Might that some of the equipment that All Might's been trying to make Midoriya use, he does at least have at home. Midoriya just explained that he has a weight bench and other stuff like that. So this place isn't really... yeah. Midoriya focusing more on cleaning than actually training. It still is a form of training, don't get me wrong, but it is significantly faster. Now, along with that, Midoriya would have headed back to his dojo today, because they actually do have a tournament. Midoriya actually a bit more tired, along with actually meeting Kendo again. Her basically just telling Midoriya that she's kind of surprised to meet him. So, Zero, exactly what are you doing here? Midoriya just saying that he's participating in the upcoming tournaments. Well, it's today. Her just saying that it's kind of surprising though. You disappeared for an entire month. So what have you been doing? Midoriya just saying that he's been working on something his own, or something of his own. In fact, it's actually something a bit private. But I'm sure that you'll find out about it one day. Her a bit confused, and asking him exactly what does he mean. To which he would just go on saying that, trust me, it is gonna blow you away. Now, the tournament would arrive and Midoriya would go battling his opponents. Him actually fighting up against someone twice his size. And this other dojo, expecting to break this kid's win record. Now, the fight would begin with Midoriya actually using karate, switching to taekwondo, jujitsu, and other forms of combats. Along with being a bit surprised when he does run in and actually throw himself up into the air, coming in with a kick directly into the guy's face, as the guy would have been able to grab Midoriya by the leg and immediately go and smashing him down onto the mat, expecting that to be the end of the match. Midoriya just getting back up, running in and immediately grabbing this guy, wrapping his arms around him and immediately just pulling backwards as much as he can, smashing him directly back downwards. Everyone a bit in shock, as after that does happen, the guy would try and grapple Midoriya, lifting him up in the air and beginning to go to throw him. Midoriya being able to wrap his arms along with one of his legs around the guy, as he just begins to pull as much as he can. The guy being annoyed would go bring his hand up and go to smash down onto the mat, over and over and over again, before the referee does tell him that he has to stop that, and the two would reset. Eventually, Midoriya, after a bit more time, would be able to take this guy down. After using, well, his combat techniques, and being able to smash the guy directly in the face, with a hard enough punch. and then sending a kick to his forehead, along with being able to knee him directly in the guts. The forms of fighting style you use in these dojos doesn't really matter, as long as you fight. It doesn't really matter what you learn, but hey. You also do have the fact that boxers sometimes come in here and think that they can just win. Now, with that being said, this is whenever Midoriya would have headed back to the beach and continue to clean it more and more, only ever showing up at his dojos in case they need him for a match or a tournament. And roughly about Ken Midoriya is training. I want to say Midoriya would actually get the beach clean in about 5 to 6 months, meaning that he will have time left before the entrance exam. Now, let us say he was actually able to do that. All Might arriving at the beach today and seeing exactly what's happening. Midoriya, he's basically just staying there and looking at the ocean, as he is just throwing his hands up. Him then bending down and grabbing a water bottle, opening it up and then drinking it, drinking half of it and then pouring the rest of it over his head, before just letting out a victorious scream, and yelling as loud as he can. All Might actually walking over and congratulating the boy, telling him that he has done a great service to his city. And, well, things are going to be getting a lot better from now on. Now comes the, well, training part. All Might pulling out one of his hairs and doing his whole "eat this" joke to Midoriya. Midoriya a bit confused and asking exactly what the fuck is this. All Might just saying that he has to pass down his quirk, of course. Midoriya just taking the hair in his hand and asking exactly why does he have to eat it. Well, you must consume a part of my DNA in order to gain the quirk. It only makes sense. My successors have had to do this, and so have I. So, I'm basically eating hair for power? Well, I mean, technically yes, but also, you're becoming a symbol yourself in the process. A symbol? Why? In fact, before I do this, I want an explanation. Midoriya demanding an explanation before All Might would just have to explain to him. Okay, so, the two walking over and sitting down in the staircase. All Might shrinking down and just explaining to Midoriya that One for All is a quirk, but it is unordinary, unorthodox. It itself is a living, breathing quirk. Just like I'm not too sure what to explain it as. It's sort of like a duplication quirk, where you can create two versions of yourself. One of you is real and one of you is fake. However, that's not really even the best way to describe it. Okay, so just cut past that and exactly what are you talking about? Well, actually, you'd have to find out about it one day. But I do not believe you'd be ready for it right now. Okay. All for One. He is the symbol of evil. He is my exact opposite. Okay, and during my fight with him a couple years ago, nearly a decade, he and I had a fight to the death. And I fear that he is still alive. Okay, how is he alive if you two fought to the death? Yes. I blew off the top portion of his skull. I believe him to be dead. While he was able to vastly injure and take out half my vital organs. One for All may be the only thing keeping me alive, along with my allies. and the surgeries I've had. Now, this is when Midoriya would just process this, asking exactly what's so special about All for One. He created the quirk, and in fact, he not only created it, but he gave it to his younger brother. He believed him to be quirkless, until the brother found out about his own quirk, being able to pass down a quirk himself. This seemingly useless, until he got a quirk that allowed him to stockpile energy, then increasing his own power. He tried to use this quirk to fight off his brother. Eventually, nearing the end of his life, he was killed, but he passed his quirk down before that. Now, that is why I am the 8th successor. My predecessor, Nana Shimura, was the 7th. Before her, I am not sure. And you, Izuku Midoriya, you will be the 9th user. This power will be your own. Now, Midoriya, hearing about All for One, would still be a bit shocked. So, he's joining in on a war that's been spanning for. Wait, you said that the first user, fought him. That can't be right. That would make him over. Yes, the man is over 127 years old. Or nearly around. What? 150 past his generation limits. He should have died, but he kept stealing quirks, expanding and actually extending his lifespan himself. He probably would have been able to live for hundreds of years. Naturally, but he is still human. So that was if I did not strike him down. Now, hearing this, Midori would be a bit in shock and eat the hair. After eating the hair, All Might would have to explain to Midoriya that this process is not straight away. You will not be able to throw around the power. In fact, you are going to have to meet me here tomorrow, and I believe I can teach you on how to use it. That will be very tricky though. Since the power does get stronger with each generation, I'm not sure exactly what you will be able to do with it. Now, All Might just thinking that Midoriya will be able to do everything he can, just stronger and faster, unaware of the breaking bones thing. Now, with that being said, All Might, he would meet Midoriya at the beach the same place tomorrow. As whenever this does happen, Midoriya would be ready, and really excited. All Might having Midoriya charge up his arm, and look at this power. Midoriya actually really impressed by it, as he would just cock his arm backwards, and throw a punch directly at the ocean. As soon as he does this punch, he would break his arm, along with the large amount of power he throws outwards into the sea. Now, Deku would have immediately dropped to the ground, and began to scream. All Might basically running over and checking to see what happened, finding his arm broken. Midoriya actually getting angry and asking exactly what the hell just happened. All Might trying to explain that he's not too sure. He's fairly certain that the power is going beyond the human body. Midoriya actually getting a bit angry, and telling All Might to take him to a hospital. Before All Might does tell Midoriya that he is just going to do him one better, taking him to UA and getting Recovery Girl. Her being a bit surprised to see that he's already picked a successor. And not just anyone. In fact, the boy is going to be a first year. That should be very interesting. Her at least just thinking that All Might is being smart about this. If he picks a kid already in UA, that's going to be too suspicious. Now, with that being said, Midoriya, he would have done this. And then head home. A bit confident in well, overzealous. Bakugo does know that he has been training more. In fact, he also has been trying to think about a way to name his quirk. Not really too sure about it. He's going to have to get diagnosed, so he might as well just tell his mom now. As he does go and meet with her, asking her if she can take him to the quirk doctor. Her a bit confused, and asking exactly what does he mean. Is everything okay, Midoriya? Well, I'm not too sure. Midoriya just turning on One for All, and, well, holding his arm. Inko actually a bit surprised. Basically jumping off over the couch and immediately running over to look at this. Being able to actually look at her son's arm and see exactly what this is. Midoriya not moving it would have been able to keep the power on and not turn it off, as it begins to spread upwards across his arm. As soon as he does see that, he would begin to think about this. That is a bit odd, but, well, I need to find out what this thing is. Inko freaking out, running over and grabbing her keys, and then getting Midoriya into a car, after he turned that off, heading to a quirk doctor and getting diagnosed. This doctor this time, it being a different one, would be a bit confused. This is very odd, young man. It appears that you've manifested a quirk. Quite fascinating. As the doctor begins to ask exactly how did this happen, Midoriya just explaining. He's not too certain. In fact, well, he sort of just woke up and felt different. And whenever he tried to focus on something, this started happening. Now, he would just explain that he tried to focus on throwing a punch whenever he was training. But he's not too sure what would happen if he actually throws it, since he did ruin one of his favorite shirts just having this thing turn on. The doctor's performing tests and telling Midoriya that he has an enhancement quirk. In fact, it seems to be quite powerful and quite rare, in fact. And go a bit confused, as the doctors go on saying that enhancement quirks rely on physical abilities, meaning that it's not too surprising that this quirk was hidden. In fact, with the way the power that we think is behind it, if your description is correct, you could be a very powerful hero if you learn to control this. Along with that, I believe that your body hit a physical limit and allowed you to unlock this ability. Well, now, we would run more tests, but it is very late at night. So I believe that for now we can just call this a wrap. And just give your quirk a name. Now, young man, in order to safely use this ability, I suggest you look up and look into enhancement abilities. They might help you, and in fact, you may have less injury than just trying to do it on your own. Do you understand me? Sure, doctor, but exactly how do I explain this to everyone? Well, that might be difficult. But, well, during the first generation, I believe that manifesting a quirk was at different ages. There's not too much information medical-wise about it. Quite a lot of it was destroyed, sadly. So, well, yeah, I'm going to try and figure this out, along with altering your records. It will be fairly easy, but still, it is very fascinating about this. It's that easy? Are you serious? Well, yes, young man. Why? Did you think it was a complicated process? Well, yeah, I did. Why? Oh, no, don't worry. Everyone has quirks that think they do something else, but later on in their life, whenever it gets stronger or they find out more abilities about it, they can have the option to change it to edit their profile. Oh, uh, that's actually pretty interesting. Thanks, Doctor. Now, Midoriya would head home, along with Inko trying to process this. Apparently, all the physical training has paid off, and she would actually take Midoriya out for a milkshake. Basically, having a bit of a cheat day. Going to get ice cream and burgers and fries. Something to celebrate. I'm not too certain. Now, I do believe that will be a good point to leave that off of. And I do hope you guys enjoy.